good afternoon, and happy 4th of July to you, 2013. This video that you were about to watch is all about my hospitalization in 2011. Now, as you know, I'm taking all my videos from CoffeehousePorcupine and putting them over on CoffeehouseBeagle. And sooner or later, the hospital videos would have to go on there. Well, what I decided to do is I took all the videos that I did in that hospital and all the pictures that I took while I was in that hospital and put them into one big video, and here it is. The video part is going to be first, and then the pictures are going to be at the tail end. Please bear in mind, I repeat, I am not in the hospital again. These videos were from May, August, and October of 2011. And they were when I was hospitalized in Forsyth Medical Center in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which, by the way, is a great hospital. So fix yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, and watch me in the hospital. And just remember, I'm not there right now. These are 2-year-old videos. And I was doing regular videos then too, just like I'm doing now. And I was also doing some documenting of stuff that was going on in my life at that time. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Getting a PICC line put in my arm right now for my leukemia treatments. It's going to go in right in that area that's exposed. And they're just prepping me. Kind of look like an Eskimo with all this, all these towels and stuff all around me. But that's the way it goes. Exciting stuff, eh? Came up with an idea for a song. For my friend Rico. Lyrics are real simple. Rico. Suave. Rico. Suave. Rico. Suave. It's a fun song in the middle of it while you're eating potato chips. This is Coffee House Porcupine, aka Ed, coming to you from the hospital. Now, I totally agree with what Locker Gnome had to say in this video, but I will say that your friends online, as opposed to your acquaintances online, are defined by the person, not by the social media. In other words, I have Facebook friends, I have Facebook acquaintances, I have YouTube friends, I have YouTube acquaintances. I have this one girl on Facebook that she says, I'm worried about you. How are you feeling? And we have a good little conversation over Facebook. But yet another girl that I might know be like, did you read the story about such and such? Okay, there's your difference between your friend and your acquaintance on Facebook. You know, one wants to know, did I respond to the same things she responded to? Other one genuinely wants to know how I'm feeling and can see that I had a little bit of a problem last week and I'm in the hospital and I'm on oxygen. And for those of you in locker rooms world that don't know what happened, is I had a blood clot break loose from my left leg and end up in my lung. I have to wait till my Coumadin levels come up before I'm released. So that's my opinion of the friend acquaintance thing on YouTube and Facebook and any other type of social media. It is defined by the person. That person may have never met you in person, but you've made a connection over 15,000 miles or 15 miles. And that's a friend. But yet another person, you might have something in common with them, and you know, they're not going to pay attention to you every day. They're like, well, okay, you're in the hospital, I hope you get better. But they would say that to anybody. And with a friend, it's going to be more like, oh, you're in the hospital. Oh, I really hope you get out. I'm worried about you. You know, see, there's your difference. Okay, but acquaintances are good too. And that's how I would respond to Chris's video. Thank you for allowing me to bore you, and have a great day. Bye. After responding to Locker Gnome on the online friends versus acquaintances subject, I found that I had a little bit more to say on the subject. So I'm responding to my own video on that. Did you know that you could be a friend with somebody online, but that person back can only be an acquaintance with you? Now, think about something, okay? I'm responding to Locker Gnome. Locker Gnome is a technology guru. I mean, the man knows his stuff. He's been on TV. He has all kinds of great stuff that has to do with technology. And I love watching things that have to do with technology. But what do I have to offer that he's going to enjoy? So I might watch 3,749 of his videos. And he might watch 25 of mine. See the difference? He still enjoys my videos. But I don't put out something as interesting that he might want to look at as he puts out interesting that I might want to look at. And the same thing with people of different sexes. Let's say if I were to find somebody out there that's female, maybe late 30s, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'm going to be a little interested. And she's looking at this. I have to realize that there's no way that she's going to be interested in me. Okay? For me, it's a dream come true. For her, it would be a nightmare. So the old ego has to take a back seat to reality. So don't be offended if you're referring to this person as a YouTube friend, but they only refer back to you as a YouTube acquaintance. Be satisfied with what you have. It's online. It's not face to face. So that way you're not setting yourself up to fail, and you're always going to have a person that you can talk to, and you're just allowing them to do it on their terms rather than you doing it on yours. But that's better than nothing. Now, there's also situations where you might be talking to a person and you're great friends with them right now, and then you get to know them a little bit better and the friendship diminishes. Well, look what you had before. That was exciting, but maybe you went a little too far. You found out a little bit too much about the person or them about you, and you spoiled something that was good. So acquaintanceships are good. Some need to stay as acquaintanceships. Some need to stay as friendships. But you have to look at everything realistically and not be offended that if you are enjoying something 100% of what they do, they might only be enjoying it 10% of what you do. And that's just life. Everybody has different interests. I had a response on my other video that this person, the polyman, considers me a friend, and I consider him a friend also. That's a friendship. That's going to be always a friendship. I have at some point a desire to travel up to Michigan someday and do a video with him, just over a cup of coffee or something. That would be cool. But I didn't know that he enjoyed my videos just as much until he told me that. I've made a friend now in Asheville, North Carolina. But that person might look at me as an acquaintance or might look at me as a friend. I don't know. But I'm happy with it either way because that person's responding to me on YouTube and on Facebook. So friendships, acquaintanceships, they're both good. But I guess the best way I can say this is whatever you have, be happy with it. Because you have it. And as usual, thank you for allowing me to bore you. Have a great day. Bye. Even though I have leukemia, even though I'm in a hospital right now, even though I have a blood clot, My prayers go out to Joplin, Missouri. I don't know anybody in Joplin, Missouri, and I know one person that's formerly from Joplin, Missouri. You might remember a few years ago that my friend Happy Cabby, who now lives in Arizona, did a video called It Is Over. And he had just had a car accident and he was vlogging from a hospital in Joplin, Missouri. There was a hospital that totally got trashed by the tornado that went through Joplin yesterday. That very well could have been the hospital that Happy Cabby did that video in. It was called St. John's Medical Center. And a lot of people in the news up here, which I'm watching now, are saying this is a landmark in Joplin. And then the weather comes on. And the weather forecast for Joplin, Missouri for tomorrow is not supposed to be that good. There's another high risk of tornado there for tomorrow. So my prayers go out to the people of Joplin, Missouri. And just pray that everybody that lives there that any of us may know are all survivors. You might remember the videos of Rio the Chihuahua that Happy Cabby has done. I believe that was Joplin, Missouri. I'm a dog lover myself, so I hope Rio survived what that town went through yesterday. And his owners. I pray they survived also. It's a hard thing to go through what they went through, and there's been a lot of bad storms all over the country this year. You know, Alabama's still recovering, and parts of North Carolina from a couple of months ago are still trying to recover. Ringgold, Georgia's trying to recover. My prayers go out to all those people, but specifically right now to Joplin, Missouri. I would like to publicly thank God that I did not get sick while I was on my vacation a couple of weeks ago. This happened to me shortly after I arrived back home. I could only imagine if I would have gotten sick in Charleston, West Virginia, or Cincinnati, Ohio, or Indianapolis, Indiana, or Bowling Green, Kentucky, or Chattanooga, Tennessee, or Atlanta, Georgia on my recent trip. But I got back home safely before this blood clot went up into my lungs. Because I've been in this hospital before. I owe them money. And I wouldn't feel too good about owing two hospitals money. Rather owing one hospital a lot more money. So it all turned out all right. Thank you, Lord, for putting that hedge of protection around me and keeping me well and allowing this to happen when I got back rather than when I was on the road. Amen. You know, sometimes it's good to think things out. I had a visit from one of my doctors in here this morning, and this is the doctor that originally wanted me to have a portocaf put here in my chest to enter the treatment for my leukemia. And I really didn't want anything that close to my heart. Plus, I had a blood clot that had broken out on my knee and went up to my lungs. And what I decided to do is I wanted with a PICC line in my arm instead. Um, so this particular doctor comes in and he visits me about 8 o'clock this morning and brings his assistant with him. And he says, well, because you didn't go with a portocaf, we can't start your leukemia treatments right away. And I'm thinking like, this guy is kind of like it's his way or the highway. And then I really got thinking about it after a while, and I'm like, the portocaf that's in my arm, right now they're using it to put heparin into my body, which is a blood thinner that's going to take care of the blood clots. And with a portocaf, the cancer treatment, the chemotherapy, would have gone through the portocaf here, and the heparin would have gone through an IV, maybe over here. But with the PICC line, potentially everything is going in the exact same place, and possibly that the leukemia treatment, the chemotherapy, cannot mix with the heparin, which is used to take care of the blood clots, so now the chemotherapy might have to be delayed. So it kind of puts everything in a whole new perspective. And I had to think things out and see what was going on before I got really all bent out of shape about it. And I never get bent out of shape about anything. The way you see me mild-mannered on YouTube and on Facebook, that's the way I am in real life. I'm kind of like low-key about everything. And that's why I wanted to do this video. When you think things out, sometimes things turn out for the better. You might have an initial opinion about something, but that initial opinion might not be the correct opinion. But when you think things out, things usually turn out for the good. And that's exactly what I did in this situation. And, this doctor doesn't want me to die. He's here to help me. So I'll just, wait till I'm done the treatment for the blood clot. And then when he wants to start treatment for the leukemia, I got the portocaf in my arm, and bada bing, bada boom, I'm all set. And as usual, thank you for allowing me to bore you. And have a great day. Bye. Why do television stations, networks, do this? I saw on the news tonight on our NBC affiliate that they're going to make this special announcement on Wednesday night. Who is going to fill the time slot where Oprah Winfrey was? Because Oprah Winfrey's show comes to a conclusion on Wednesday. I have an idea. Put the news there. If you're going to make an announcement of who's going to go in her time slot, nothing wrong with having a news broadcast at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We had this in Pennsylvania. I am not a big fan of the talk show scene. I could tolerate Oprah. I could tolerate Dr. Oz. I don't like Dr. Phil. All Dr. Phil does is find a subject to talk about, and that person's life is kind of in Dr. Phil's hands, whether they like it or not. I don't like Rosie O'Donnell. I hate watching Jay Leno. I was never a big Conan O'Brien fan. Arsenio Hall did the smart thing. He saw he wasn't popular. He left. Now, I would rather see the news there. I would rather see a 4 o'clock news report. Run the news from 4 to 6:30. And give us plenty of news. Forget the talk shows. Here's another thing. They're talking about Oprah's show going off the air. Is it really? I'm going to guess. I could be wrong, but I'm going to guess that all she is doing is going off the major networks. And now we're going to see this big cable network, either called Oprah or called Harpo. And she'll have a show on that network. And that's just what I think is going to happen. I would love to see something maybe educational on there if you don't want to put the news on. But why make the big announcement? If the NBC affiliates are making this announcement about who's going to fill the time slot for Oprah, there are some of us that are going to be overjoyed by it. And some other ones that are going to be so mad, we're going to watch CBS and ABC and Fox. Why don't you just tell us now? Tell us who the replacement is now, or tell us you're going to put the news in that time slot. It's not rocket science to figure out that people are going to watch your show just to hear this great announcement and find out it's going to be somebody they don't like anyhow. But if you want to make a lot of us happy, put the news on there. Thank you. Well, folks, I'm back in the hospital again. And true to form, I got another great breakfast. Look at this. I love this hospital's food. Just like it was back in May. Best hospital food I've ever had. And I just love talking about it. Love eating it too. And this is just breakfast. Imagine what lunch and dinner are like. Once again, a room with a view. This time I'm on the north side of the hospital. And you can see the town of Winston-Salem off there in the distance. You can see the Wachovia Tower and the Winston Tower. Once again, I have a room with a view. This time I'm on the north side of the hospital. If you look through the blinds here, you can see the city of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Off in the distance, you can see the Wachovia Tower and the Winston Tower and the Reynolds Tower and all those other nice towers. Not a big city, but it's adequate size. That's Hawthorne Road, which is right in the foreground there also. Once again, a great lunch here at the hospital. Look at that. Mashed potatoes, tilapia with lemon, and I think that's tomatoes with some type of seasoning on it. A dinner roll, and this up here is a cappuccino mousse for dessert. I love the food here. And that's why I brag on it so much. Bon appetit. Okay, here is a really good view of what it looks like from my hospital room. Isn't that beautiful? Look over here. There is the skyline, Winston-Salem. This is just a parking garage. But got Stratford Road over here. That's Trend West, right down there we're looking at. Beautiful, beautiful view. For all the things that are bothering you, I will give you a courtesy flush. And let them all go down the drain. If you look closely out the window of my hospital room, you see a rainbow over the city of Winston-Salem. Just happened to notice that, so I had to get the camera out. Dun, 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 dun. It's lunchtime. Doesn't that look good? Oh, doesn't that look good? Once again, another great lunch here at the hospital. Okay, folks, this is the best one yet. Look at this. Of course, you know I'm going to get the customary roll. And then once again, the dessert. Doesn't that look good? Couldn't resist taking a picture of that. Baked chicken, collard greens, rice with gravy, Diet Sierra Mist, dinner roll, and dessert. Need I say any more? Bon appetit. Okay, this is what my leg looks like right now. You can see it's fully wrapped with a medicated wrap. I'm going to go around back here, do some video around the back of the leg. You can all see what it looks like back there. So that's where the leaking is coming from. And of course I'm wearing a surgical slipper. So it'll keep the bottom of my foot protected. Right now what I've done is I put all these puppy pads all over my apartment. You can see where the bottom of my leg is leaking out all over that puppy pad there. These are generally used for dogs. Dogs that have not been trained yet. Well, I'm trained, but my leg is leaking. So I'm using this to protect my carpet. So there you have it. Story of my leg. So there you have it, folks. My 2011 hospitalization, all rolled up into one long video. Thank you for allowing me to bore you, and have a great day. Bye.